Minasan, konnichiwa, Zamurai Engineer desu. In this video, let us continue with our discussion on Module 8 of Life Safety Code, NFPA101. This is a part 2 on the 4-part series. So this is the third subtopic, which will deal with stories in height. Okay, this is your professor, Dr. Zantua. I'm a civil engineer, electrical engineer, industrial engineer, mechanical engineer, production engineer, instrumentation engineer, and a alumni of Polytechnic University, Japan, as a Japan government scholar. Okay, so let us start with the objective of the code, which is to minimize danger to life from fire, smoke, heat, and toxic gases. Mission continuity and property protection. In both new construction and existing building. So, sorry about that. There is a technical difficulty in our Wi-Fi access. Anyway, let's continue with this, and we are now on the hazard of contents, under which we are now on the third subtopic, stories in height. So, stories in height, it is counted starting with the level of exit discharge and ending with the highest occupiable story. So, which one is the highest occupiable story? And therefore, in terms of NFPA101, it is counted as like that. Okay. For example, we do not include stories below level of exit discharge containing the occupancy being considered. Okay. So, lower than this, because we already considered in our determination of level of exit discharge that LED is the lowest floor. So therefore, stories below that will not be included, even though it contains occupancy. Okay. Again, another thing, we do not include interstitial spaces used for building or process system. So interstitial, so it is not designed for occupancy. It is designed for specific and special use for machine, for devices. Again, number 3, we do not include mezzanines. Okay. And number 4, we do not include one-story parking level in some circumstances. Right. So as you can see in your picture, you have in your screen that there is what? A 2-level underground parking with 6-level building. So all in all, there are 8 floors. But in a matter of stories, under NFPA101, this is only a 6-floor building. Okay, because LED is the ground floor or the first floor, and it is because it is on the same level as the ground level, and obviously it must satisfy the conditions on the determination of LED, which was discussed in the last video. Okay, let us proceed with 5 examples. So let us one by one look at the following examples. So building number 1, we have what? First floor, second floor, up to 5th floor, wherein the first 2 lower floors are for assembly. application. And third floor up to sixth floor are fourth floor used for business purposes. So we have the finished ground level as shown, and we know that there are 2 stories in height when we are talking of assembly, and 6 stories in height when we are talking of business. Okay. Okay, so this is the counting, how we count the number of stories. So we can go to the requirements for assembly. There are 2 stories of this. There are 2 floors, and also there are 6 floors for business. Although functionally the building is mainly classified as there are 4 stories for business. We also count the first and second floor be classified also as business, as much as it is classified as assembly. Okay. What about building number 2? Building number 2, we have what? Let's first take a look at the picture. We have first floor, second floor, third floor, up to the 6th floor. We also have the same function per floor as with the first building, but which include what? Third floor to 6th floor business, and first floor, second floor assembly. But we have what? Interstitial spaces in first floor and second floor. So there are interstitial spaces, okay, on the ceiling part of the first 2 floors. So let us verify. Building 2 is a building with assembly occupancy 2 stories in height. That only involves first floor and second floor. That is for assembly. We do not count the interstitial in the interstitial. If we count interstitial spaces, we will have what? 4 story in height for assembly, but not. We only have 2 stories in height for assembly. And how about business? We still have 6 stories in height for business. For both business and assembly, we do not include interstitial spaces, as we had just discussed 2 pages ago. Okay, next is building number 3. First, take a look at the picture. We have finished ground level, and we have 2 levels of parking underground. We have first floor, second floor, and third floor to 4th floor are for business. First floor is parking, and second floor is for assembly. How can we determine the count? Okay, business occupancy 5 stories in height. Where are those? From second floor to 6th floor. Those are business. Assembly occupancy 2 stories in height. Where are those? Parking and second floor. We do not count the underground because we already determined that LED is first floor. We do not count those below LED. Okay, so that's how we count the number of floors. Okay, note, very important to count the number of floors when we are dealing with NFPA101. You can count it 8 floors if you will when you are talking with other things, but when we are talking of fire protection, we are talking of fire protection here. In fire protection, NFPA101, the counting is 5 business floors and 2 assembly floors. That is a proper counting when we are dealing with the building number 3. Okay. What about building number 4? So take a look at the picture first. We have finished ground level here. We have an identified level of exit discharge. We have 2 assembly floors underground. And we have 2 assembly floors, first floor, second floor, and business floors 3, 4, 5, and 6. How can we determine the number of stories? There are 2 stories for assembly occupancy. What are those? The first floor and second floor. These assembly floors lower than LED is not counted as assembly. Because again, we already determined LED to be the first floor. That's why it is not counted, because it is lower than LED. Okay? What about business occupancy? There are still 6, 1 to 6. There are still 6 stories for business occupancy. Okay? So, up to now, we know that there is an overlap of counting. Because if we count the assembly occupancy 2 stories, business occupancy 6 stories, there is an overlap of 2 stories. Okay? Next example, building number 5. Take a look at the picture. We have finished ground level. We have the designated level of exit discharge to be the first floor. And we have first floor mezzanine. Okay? And then second floor, and then third floor to 6th floor are for business purpose. So first floor is assembly, second floor is assembly, but we have mezzanine. How to determine the floor number of the building? So assembly occupancy 2 stories. Where are those? First floor and second floors. Mezzanine is not counted. Mezzanine is not counted in counting the number of stories. Okay. Business occupancy, there are 6. Again, mezzanine is not included. So with that, we are able to verify using the different 5 examples how to count the number of stories. We are always counting starting from level of exit discharge or LED. Again, this is Dr. DrEYPEI, preaching engineering for nation building.